Hi there, I'm Mr. Adam, one of the instructors over at Prodigy. Today we're going to be looking at a tricky exercise for drumline and also drums and anyone who plays any instrument. Pretend we have a pizza and there are 15 other people coming over, so we need 16 slices because you're going to eat one too. You cut it up and now there's 16 slices. Now, your guests are probably going to think you're skimping a little bit. Maybe you should have ordered more pizzas. Oh well, this is what we got. Also, we're going to label every pizza. We're going to label them 1E and a, 2E and a, 3E and a, 4E and a. And now imagine some of your guests eat some of their slices of pizza. So instead of having the 16, we've got like 13 or maybe 12, and we can see the space that is left where there was a slice of pizza and now there isn't. This is kind of like playing 16th notes. In a measure, we chop up the time into 16 little teeny weeny parts, and we play some of those parts, but then we don't play others. And it's very hard to keep track of which ones we're playing and which ones we aren't. And that's the purpose of our exercise today. Here is the exercise we're playing today. It's called 16th two-note timing. For your copy of the music, just click the link below this video. Let's get started. Let's take this in sections. We're going to do just the first measure. Okay, so we have 1E and a, 2E and a. Then we have 3E, 4E. I didn't say and a. Those have been taken out at the end. So I'm going to say that again. 1E and a, 2E and a, 3E, 4E. Next we're going to play it. Here's how it sounds. 1E and a, 2E and a, 3E, 4E. Try it. 2, ready, go. 1E and a, 2E and a, 3E, 4E. Faster. 2, ready, go. 1E and a, 2E and a, 3, 4E. 1, 2, go again. 1E and a, 2E and a, 3, 4E. For the next part, we have 1E and a, 2E and a, E and, E and. That one's really tricky. What's going to happen is your right hand is not going to play for 3 or 4. So let's try it on the drum. 1E and a, 2E and a, E and, E and. Try it. 2, ready, go. 1E and a, 2E and a, E and, E and. A little faster. 2, ready, go. 1E and a, 2E and a, E and, E and. Try it. 2, go again. 1E and a, 2E and a, E and, E and. For this exercise, you have to play the sticking absolutely correct. Don't fake it. You're not going to help yourself. In the long run, we need 100% accurate sticking. That means every time you hit, you need to hit it with the correct hand. And it is labeled under there. It's very specific. I even color coordinated it. To make it easier, you may think it's harder, but it's actually easier. Use the feet. So the foot markings are put at the bottom, and particularly on E and, which is so hard because you've taken out the number, you're actually playing the numbers with your feet. So your left foot becomes 3 and your right foot becomes 4. So you get, and that's really helpful. So do that. All right, let's move on. The next part is we play anda. It's not as hard as the last one. So we go 1E anda, 2E anda, anda, anda. And we play anda with the right, left, right, left. Let's try it on the drum. 1E anda, 2E anda, anda, anda. And it's even easier if you move your feet. So let's start moving our feet. 1, 2, ready, play. 1E anda, 2E anda, anda, anda. Try it again. 1, 2, ready, go. 1E anda, 2E anda, anda, anda. All right, even faster. 1, 2, ready, and 1, 1E and a 2E and a... Alright. This last one, to me, is the easiest. So you play 1E into 2E into 3, a 4, a 1. Very simple. And make sure you play the sticking correct. Right, left, right, left, right. Let's try it. Try it with me. Ready, go. 1E into 2E into 3, a 4, a 1, 2, go again. 1E into 2E into 3, a 4, a 1, 2, go again. 2, ready, go. Next, we're going to take everything and put it together. We're going to play one after another, and we're going to do the whole thing 2 times. Make sure you're paying attention to the sticking and your feet, and we're going to start out real slow. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, I will tell you, my hardest part was playing the E-an, E-an. It's really hard. What you need to do is just stomp those feet into the ground to give you those numbers. We need to feel 3, 4, but we're not allowed to play 3, 4. So you can stomp to give yourself that, and that's going to help you get the timing. Also, try to keep your left hand moving after you play 1E and a 2E and because your left hand is going to keep moving, so don't stop it as you lead into the E-an, E-an. Alright, let's try it again, this time just a little bit faster. 1, 2, ready, go. So playing it a little faster is easier for me to do E-an, E-an. And that's because empty space is harder to measure than when you're moving, when you're playing. And on that subject, you can also kind of exaggerate the way you move when you're not playing. So like if you have an empty space, what I'll do is I'll actually kind of let my hands flow a little bit in those spots so that I never stop moving. If you're dancing to the music, you're going to feel the beat. But if you stop, then you don't really know where the next beat is. You're not actively, holding on to where the rhythm in the music is. So as much as possible, try to keep moving and try to keep that flow with your hands even when you're not hitting. Fill in all that empty space with movement, and your timing is going to be way better. Okay, let's move on to the super fast version. Are you ready for this? I don't know if I'm ready, but let's try it. 1, 2, ready, go. That is 16th 2-note timing. Your job now is to practice it and get really good at it. This is the kind of exercise you don't learn and then stop doing forever. It's more like if you're like a bodybuilder or if you play on a sports team, you keep doing the same exercises so you get better at them and so that you stay in shape. This is like that. It's really going to help you if you play bass drum or tom in particular. You also need it if you're playing snare. Not so much for cymbals, but if you have ambitions to move on up next season, then you should definitely master it. This is going to give you a big edge over other people who aren't paying attention to this exercise. If you show up and suddenly you can play 16th 2-note timing, I'm going to be like, whoa. So, it's up to you. So own it, and it's really going to help you, and you're going to move up through the ranks of the drumline. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. To learn more about Prodigy or other programs like Prodigy, visit us at www.uacdc.org.